Happy Saturday, fam! Or whenever you're watching this, it's Saturday, March 11th, 2023 when I'm filming this. I don't know if you see, but for some reason it's showing 9:41, Tuesday, 9th of January, about there, but that's some glitch. It's actually March 11th, Saturday, and 3 p.m. my time while filming this. So, today, what we're going to be covering, we're going to be diving into the math, the logic, and the mindset behind making extra 120K per year. I'm using 120K because it's an easy example, but basically, you can use this thing to reverse engineer basically any goal you have, right? So 120K extra per year, this is how to make that happen in real estate. So first things first, I have my iPad here. So let's think about the math here real quick. So average ticket, what I mean by this is basically how much money do you make per deal. And let's take GCI here first. Let's say you make 10K per deal in gross commissions. And let's say you split to brokerage is 80-20, so 2K, right? And then let's say your cost to fulfill, so your expenses per deal, let's say it's 2K. I'm just using easy numbers. Obviously, use your own numbers when you're doing the calculations, so it's realistic to you, but I'm using easy numbers here to show you basically how to do the math and how to make it happen. So what that really means, so you have the split, and then you have basically your cost to fulfill your services, right? Per that deal. So whatever it costs you to do all the photos and do all that stuff, right? So your net per deal in this example would be 6K, because 10K minus 2 is 6K, right? So your net in this example would be 6K. So what that basically means, you would need to do 12 deals per year to make 120K in GCI, right? Because you make 10K per deal in gross commissions. And that basically means in this example, it would be 72K net, right? And if you want to do 120K in net commissions, what that means, you would need to do 20 deals, because 6 times 20 is 120, right? And that means, in this example, you would be doing 200K in GCI. Super simple. Nothing like, not rocket science here. Just like super simple math, just numbers, right? So, let's say you want to make 100K, extra 120K in GCI, right? That means you need to do 12 deals, and we have 12 months, means you need to do 1 deal per month. And then we obviously need to figure out how can you make 1 deal per month. What are those things that you need to do? How many inputs? All that stuff that you can hit 1 deal per month. So in this example, let's use 1 listing per month, getting 1 listing per month, and those will be snowballing, and the deals will be snowballing, and all that stuff. But like, let's keep it easy. Let's keep it simple. So we gotta figure out how many in-person meetings you need to get. How many in-person meetings you need to get 1 deal, or 1 listing in this case. How many leads you need to get that amount of appointments, right? Or how many in our process, for example, how many phone consultations do you need to get in-person appointment? And then obviously how many leads you need to get the phone consultation. And then we gotta figure out, knowing the lead source, whether it's expireds, FISBOs, online leads, whatever. But in this case, let's dive into online leads and our source, right? So you gotta know how many inputs, basically time and money, you need to get that amount of leads. So we're gonna talk about money because we focus on paid ads, paid client acquisition, paid leads. So then we obviously need to know how much money we need to get those leads. And let's put there in between the phone consults. But basically, these phone consults throughout this math thing here, or the calculations, whatever, you can think these to be as like actual conversation you having with the leads, or just a phone consults that got booked through the AI or through the booking page and stuff like that, right? So it's either one of those that are already booked to your appointment, or a lead that you call up and that you call and have an actual consultation over the phone and trying to get that in person, right? So those are the things that we need to know in order to get to the one listing per month, right? So let's say you close 25%, and we're reverse engineering the numbers here now. So let's say you close 25% of the in-person meetings that you go to, right? That I would say that's okay. Especially if you're newer or the lead source is newer, new to you, I guess, or you're doing it like really high volume, which I do recommend, and I do recommend taking all of the opportunities. Even some might be longer term, whatever, but you can build the relationship there, and you will. I guess the stats say that 70% of homeowners are going to go with the first person they talk with. So if you get someone who is really just thinking about the process, right, and you going into that super early stages, and you're the first one they talk with, and you do provide value, and you start building a relationship, you can be sure that they will go with you, basically guaranteed, when they are ready, right? Also, referrals, all that stuff, when you give, eventually you will get. So providing value. But let's say you close, that was a lot, but let's say you close 25% of the in-person meetings you go to. That means you need, in order to get one listing, you need to go to 4 in-person meetings. Simple, right? And then how many phone consultations in this case you need to get 4 in-person meetings? So let's say your booking rate from phone consultation, actual phone conversation consultation to in-person meeting is 40%. That would mean to get 4 in-person meetings, you would need 10 phone consultations, right? Phone consultations, like phone appointments. And let's say you have a 20% lead to phone ratio, that like a phone consultation ratio. Like over time, I would say this would be good to have 30%. But let's just say that you have 20% lead to phone ratio, which would include the AI bookings, the phone consults, and then obviously if you when you're calling the leads and getting them on the phone and having legit phone consults with them about the home estimate or whatever, then like the phone consults, then I would include those into this calculation as well to make it streamlined and realistic, right? That basically means to get 10 phone consults, you need 50 leads, right? Because 20% from like 20% from 50 is 10, so you need 50 leads to get 10 phone consultations. Again, super simple math, nothing huge here, just pure math. So now the question is, how can you get 50 leads, and how much is that going to cost you? And now we're gonna want to take into this calculation, obviously, like our process and the type of leads that we generating. Like most of our clients are getting like home evaluation leads in a very specific funnel and way of running things. But basically those are long form leads, and that means on average they cost anywhere from $20 to $30 right now in US and Canada on average. Might be actually less now since the cost of ads has dropped a bit lately, but let's take $25 cost lead, because that is kinda what we've seen over time, right? In this process. That would mean you need $1,250 to get 50 leads, right? And with these numbers, that would turn into 1 listing per month, right? If we just like taking into this calculation like these numbers that we just went over, right? Kind of conservative numbers actually. Now my question to you is, would you be willing to pay $1,250 to get 10K in return, right? That is 8x ROI. And if you net 6K, that would be 4.8x ROI, like net ROI. You should be willing to. Because if you wanted to build a real business, maybe eventually build a team of A players around you, here's the kicker. If you're able to increase your lead to phone consult ratio from 20% to 25%, you now only need 40 leads per month to hit the one listing, right? Which means your cost to acquire a listing, basically drops from $1,250 to 1K. And your ROI increases from 8x to 10x. Whoa, pretty cool, right? This is obviously gross that we just went over. Gross commissions, gross ROI. And what if you're able to also increase your lead to phone to 30%? So lead to phone, this one here, to 30%, and your close ratio in the meetings from 25 to 40%, which is possible. With proper training, you would be basically cutting your cost per acquisition to half. That is, and here's how. So your cost to acquire customer will drop even from the 1K to 500 with these numbers. If you focus on the back end and having a proper training in place and actually knowing what we're doing, how the process works and all that stuff, and getting all those pieces together. This is because 40 leads would equal to 12 phone consults. That would mean 5 meetings, like in-person meetings, and that would equal to 2 deals, like 2 listings in this case. We're focusing on the listing side here. So let's talk about listings. That means cost to acquire customer goes from 1K to 500, right? Because the ad spend stays the same, 1K a month. And now you got 2 with that. So 1K to get 2 listings, just because we focused on the back end. What that means to for your ROI? Any guesses there? You basically go from 10x to 20x. You double your ROI by focusing on the back end, perfecting the process, the sales process, and being open-minded to learning new skills to convert online leads at higher level. Crazy, right? So it's not about, can you see, it's not about the leads, all that, but it's about what happens and what you do with those leads. That's exactly why we have, here at Mescla, we put a huge focus on the back end and the sales clinics have in place and all that stuff, the support systems, guest coaches, all that stuff, lead follow-up systems, and trainings like this to help you level up. Because even if you're crushing it with whatever you're doing right now, this is a new source that you're using, and it's a bit different process that you're used to. So that's why we have those things in place, so you're going to convert at higher level and level up. Now, one thing to think is like, what is the easiest way to maximize your ROI without even getting your front-end numbers better? Like without even trying to get your front-end numbers better. So even without changing, getting these numbers here better, basically, the easiest thing that you can do is to focus on pipeline management. Sorry, hopefully that makes sense. But pipeline management, managing your pipeline, nurturing the relationships, following up with the leads, and even with the meetings that you go to, and appointments and all that stuff, right? And finding ways to turn one opportunity to 2 or even 3 more, by asking for referrals and reviews. And by the way, you can do that even without getting the listing from that person right away that you just met, right? You can ask, but you have to provide value first. That's why it's crucial to go in person, provide value, drop the CMA, see how you can help them out and all that stuff. Because now you're turning that stranger basically to someone that you kind of know. When you are opening up the relationship, you're having those conversations and you're actually trying to help and see ways how you can provide value, and the other person will notice that, and once you give and give, you eventually will get. And that's the beauty when being open-minded to opportunities and going there and having those conversations and trying to help people out, right? And seeing how you can help, because once you start and once you work your database, basically follow up with the leads and provide value, it will start snowballing back to you. And the leads you got on month 1, month 2, month 3 will be starting to turn into business. And suddenly, when you were making one deal or one listing per month, now you start making 2x or 3x the business on a monthly basis, just because of your database you have built and nurtured and actually managed, right? Just because of the pipeline management, just because of this one piece here that you're focusing on, you're nurturing the relationship, you're following up, you're providing value, eventually you will start getting. And if not from that person might have and normally has multiple people in their network that might be that they might be referring to you, just because how much value you're providing. Remember that. Now, is this easy? Like, is building a business that eventually maybe don't even require you to be there, and having a team in place, and actually having predictable revenue coming in and all that, or entrepreneurship or sales, is it easy? No. Will it require time and commitment? Yes. Is it going to be tough sometimes? Yes. But I think that's good. Nothing great has never been easy to build. At least I don't really know anything like that. Rome wasn't built in a day, as we like to say, right? And then we go into the question like, does this thing work, right? Like, does this work? Paid acquisition, right? Does online leads work? It does work. Hell yeah. Now, if you want to just stay where you're at right now and don't want to grow and build a legit business, it's totally fine. And it's not for everyone. And you can just work on a few deals here and there and do all that stuff. If that's what you want to do, I'm just going to take that away from you. And I think that's beautiful. But if you really want to make more money, tons of more money, help more and more and more and more people, you have to put in the work, no matter what you do, no matter what business you're in. You have to put in the work, no matter what lead source you're using. You just have to do that. And if you do want to make impact and make tons of money, then you got to realize that you can make it happen. But you have to put in the work and understand that sometimes times are tough and things are not easy, but you can get through that. And once you do, you're going to be better as a human and your business is going to thrive. And remember, if you don't quit, you can't lose. So I guess to recap everything we just went over, a bunch of mindset stuff as well, but figure out your goal and why you wanted to hit that goal. Why is it that, like, who are you? Why is it that you do what you do? Because if you don't know all that stuff, when it gets tough, you're not putting in the efforts needed to make it happen, right? One thing that has helped me a ton is to being able to realize that you don't need motivation. I believe you need discipline. And in order to have discipline, you need to know why you're doing what you're doing, right? So once you know your goal and your why, then you gotta understand your numbers, right? This is not easy, but it's fucking simple. Sorry, my friends, but that's the truth. It's just math. It's not easy, but it's simple. It's gonna be tough, but it's super simple. Then once you have that, you have your goal, you have your why, and then you have your numbers, you understand that, then you basically go into just reverse engineer that goal so that you know what you need to do on a quarterly, on a monthly, on a weekly, on a daily basis even, to move the money needle and hit that goal. Getting more money and hitting money goals is actually pretty easy when you just understand this thing and you understand the numbers and all that stuff. Then it's just like actually doing the things that you're required to do. Most of the times, some of those things are things that we don't want to do, but we need to do in order to hit the goals that we wanted in the first place, right? So what are those activities? How many calls do I need to do on a daily basis? New calls, follow-up calls. How many inputs basically do I need to do? How many meetings do I need to set on a daily basis? How many meetings do I need to be on or at, I guess, on a daily basis? And all that. One last thing that I want to leave you guys with is that I believe that, I might be wrong, but when I said earlier, you don't need motivation, you need discipline. What I come to learn, and this is my belief, is that what's even better than discipline is routines, right? Let me tell you why. In order to get started and get the ball rolling, you need discipline. Because most of the stuff that really matters and moves the money needle is not that fun. But once you do that and you got the engine running, now you can build routines that will help you do the daily boring activities that are needed to get to where you want to get. And those routines will then work for you. But in order to keep showing up daily, again, I believe you need to know why you're doing what you're doing and who you really are. Cool. I hope this was helpful. And as always, if you have any questions, feedback, input, whatever, just ask, just let me know, just let the team know, and we'll be here to support you. Now, let's go and set some more appointments. Have a great rest of your day.